Good afternoon. We are interrupting programming to bring you the latest on preparations for Hurricane Michael.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster is holding a media briefing in Aiken County with emergency management officials right now.
This comes on the heels of Florence, and the governor wants to update the public on Hurricane Michael's potential impact to the state. Let's take a listen.
Here, it will probably hit us right around this area, right around Aiken County. And will probably proceed through the state quickly, not like Florence, which stayed for 3 days. Rather than go like the hurricanes usually go, which is go right straight on through, and will probably go up towards Columbia and then keep on in that trajectory on towards North Carolina. But we are expecting winds in the morning, perhaps 40 or 50 miles an hour. We ask you please stay tuned and keep informed. We're also expecting 2 to 6 inches of rain in some places, but when the hurricane comes in here and in that trajectory I mentioned a moment ago, there might be 4 to 6 inches there. There will likely be some flash flooding, but again, urge everyone to stay tuned to your county authorities, municipal authorities, emergency management people, and they will keep you informed. But again, this is just a reminder that we do live in Hurricane Alley. We have a lot of hurricanes in South Carolina, and they come from different directions. But the last one, Florence, was unique in the history of the hurricanes, and it came right straight across the Atlantic Ocean without going north or south, and just came straight to us in North Carolina and stayed for 3 days, dumping record amounts of water. We had rain sometimes as much as 2 feet. We're not expecting that with this one at this time. The reason we are here is we want to assure the citizens of South Carolina that this will not be, as far as we can tell, this will not be a repeat of what we saw in Florence. It will not be like that. It will not be like Hugo. It will not be like other hurricanes we've had, but it will be high winds and a good bit of water. But stay tuned, and we will certainly keep you well informed. Kim Stinson is here. He is the director of the Emergency Management Division. Kim?
Thank you, sir. And some of you probably already know it, but we're responsible at the state level for the state response to emergency situations. And what it really boils down to is supporting local authorities. So that's our primary mission. And right now, we're running 24-hour operations until the duration to make sure that we can be in a position to support local authorities. And it's important to note that, as the governor said, that this is it will be a statewide event. Everybody was going to see rain, and everybody's going to see wind. Some maybe a little bit different in different parts of the state, but certainly here in the Aiken area, we expect to see those high winds and also potentially 4 to 6 inches of rain over the next 24 hours. So I mentioned that we have activated our State Emergency Operations Center. Joined by several state agencies, obviously, that will help us coordinate any response to the local level. We're conducting daily conference calls, actually twice daily right now, with the local authorities to make sure that we understand their situational awareness and also understand any unmet needs that they might have or any requests for state assistance. Right now, we don't have any requests for state assistance at this particular moment. We are very fortunate, though, from the local level all the way really up to the federal level, to have a very experienced team, from Aiken County all the way up to FEMA. We have planned together, we have exercised together, and we have trained together, and then most recently we have operated together just as early as last month during Hurricane Florence. So we're very fortunate here in South Carolina to have that experienced team in Team South Carolina. Would like to mention personal preparedness. That's very critical. We ask everybody in South Carolina to be their own personal emergency manager. You're going to be the help until help gets there. So you need to have a plan. You need to take a look at potential threats and hazards in your area. If you live in a low-lying area or manufactured housing, you need to have a plan in case you have flooding situations or certainly from the wind. So we ask you to do that. We've got a couple of tools for you to be your own personal emergency manager. One of the things you can do is you can refer to our website at scend.org, which has got plenty of information on how to prepare for not just this event, but any emergency situation. And for those of you that have smartphones, we've got a application, the South Carolina Emergency Manager, that you can download onto your smartphone and have that with you all the time. It allows you to keep critical contact numbers in there. It allows you to create your own plan, like identifying disaster supplies that you have or will need, things like your medications and that sort of thing. So that's all available on there and available for download. Sir?
Any questions?
I guess thinking back to Florence just a couple of weeks ago, you said that this is a different storm. It seems as though the response is different in light of that. Prior we had several briefings much like this, a lot more concern. Is this a situation where it's just the nature of the storm, or is it kind of a muted response?
No, this is the nature of the storm. The response, of course, is in proportion to the danger of the threat of the storm. And as we mentioned, this storm, this hurricane, it's a strong hurricane in Florida. Now they're having a tough time of it in Florida. We ask everybody to keep them in your thoughts and your prayers, because they're having storm surges that is water, I think 13 to 14 feet above the ground coming in Florida. And we did not have that here, of course. But this is not the threat that Florence was. In Florence, the hurricane winds did not reach the expectations when they got here. The flooding was precisely what we thought we would have, and plus in some spots even a little bit more. That was record flooding in South Carolina. We're still way away from rebuilding and fixing and taking care of all of those necessities there. But this one has high winds in Florida. By the time it gets there, we expect maybe 40 to 60 miles an hour, and the rains will be much less than they were in Florence. But we wanted the citizens, the people of the state, and the people outside of the state who have relatives and friends and interests in the state to know that the South Carolina team is working alert. The Emergency Management Division is staffed. The communications are in full effect, and what we are reporting to you now is what we expect at this point.
Governor, obviously a lot of other areas in South Carolina got hit harder by Florence, but Aiken County was pretty much passed over in a lot of places. That being said, locally here, are we going to see more than we saw with Florence?
Yeah, I would say yes, and that might be a better question for Paul Matthews from Aiken County, but I think you probably will see more. But Paul?
I agree with that, Kim. I think we're going to see some wind, and obviously we're going to see some rain with it as well. We're concerned also about tornadoes. We're watching that threat. So yes, I think the answer is yes, we will see. It's a different set of circumstances, but we will get more in Aiken County.
Any more questions?
Governor,
Yes.
how does Hurricane Michael affect recovery from Hurricane Florence?
Well, there will be assets that are available, that will be available for other states once we determine what our response needs to be here. The assets that we had mobilized before, many have stood down because we've gone from the threat of the winds and the rains now into a recovery mode. The rain may have some impact depending on exactly where it goes. The water is very wet, the ground is wet and is saturated in the PD, so there's nowhere really for that water to go. We may have some flash flooding there, as Director Stimson has mentioned. The ground here is more dry, so we don't expect the kind of flash flooding here in this part of the state around Aiken as it enters from Georgia that we had in other parts of the state in Florence. But we do alert people to be on the lookout for flash floods and roads covered with water. Don't drive on a road covered with water because you have no way of knowing what's underneath that water.
Thank you.
Governor, for those who may not be taking this storm that seriously, what do you tell them here in South Carolina?
Well, we always have to be prepared. It's better to be prepared, and we always hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. But again, this storm at this point in South Carolina, our expectations here are that it will not reach the size and dimensions of what we had recently in Florence. just need to be prepared. It'll mainly be some heavy rains and some winds up to 40 or 60 miles an hour. And there could be tornadoes. So stay alert, stay informed with the local authorities, and we'll be okay. Okay. Y'all, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, everyone, that's Governor Henry McMaster of South Carolina wrapping up a press briefing to his state about Hurricane Michael and their preparations in South Carolina. The governor basically said he wants to make sure that people in South Carolina are aware that this storm is nothing like Hurricane Florence just a few weeks ago. However, their concern will be the heavy winds and also strong rain that could blow into the state.
And that's why they were in Aiken County today, because they feel like they have more likely a chance to see those winds, maybe 40 to 50 miles per hour where they are. That's what they're projecting at this point. And of course, they're preparing for as much as 6 inches of rain as the storm passes through the area. But it must be a relief to a lot of people to hear that the emergency management officials in South Carolina are not thinking this will be anything near what Florence was.
Absolutely.